Alright, here we go. I believe we're all set up. Alright, perfect. Let me guys know if the audio is all good. Hopefully it is. If there's any changes I need to make, then let me know. But all the settings should be up and running. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Adam. What a beautiful voice. I shall take that highly. But we have got the go ahead in 2 minutes' time, so for now, we could just have a little bit of a chill after rushing about trying to get signed in and everything. Evening, Wacky Racer. You would rather have had a dry race. Well, unfortunately, it is raining, so it's one of those things you've got to deal with, and then see what you can do, innit? Just do your best. We should be readying up any moment now, so we'll get ready for the lights out sequence. Just gotta see what this order's going to be like, because obviously I've got no idea what's happening in quali. So fresh start for me. Alright, here we go. Got no game sound, but there's a Williams on pole, which I believe that is Tobarito. Yes, it is. It's lights out and away we go here. We'll leave that for now, as Angry Badger and Tobarito side by side into turn one to try and take the race lead. And Tobarito with a switchback and holds on to his qualifying position, as we've got the revving engine glitch. However, we shall not worry about that, as everyone seemed to have gotten through turn one quite nicely. We'll go to Shazam and Potwash. Potwash edges in front, and Shazam going to try and hold it round the outside. I don't like that. It's got that engine revving, so we'll have to ignore that. As a bit of front wing damage off of Ferrari. I believe that might have been from Corey up in P5. Yep, Corey's got a slight bit of front wing damage here already on lap 1. So not the ideal start that the Ferrari would be hoping for. Let's get up the tyres quickly. As you can see, everyone on inters. Nobody's chose to get the wets. As a bit of a snap for Rotti. Puts himself into Shazam there, and that allows Ironshin to get through up into P6. So a little bit of a hectic start for many of these drivers. However, except from Corey with the wing damage, seems to be holding on quite nicely. We'll see how much Ironshin can gain. He is the driver in the top form at the moment. Back-to-back wins in the last 2 races, I believe it is. So we'll get up that just so I just like having that up. But starting onto lap 2 now. Tobarita's still in the lead. Got Angry Badger just behind, about 6 tenths back. Already pulling a gap towards Mr. Piggy in P3 and Wacky Racer holding on in P4. And then we've got a nice little battle here with Corey, obviously struggling with that wing damage initially. So it'll almost be a matter of time before Einstein can get through for that P5 spot. So we'll keep with Iron Shin, as we have to deal with that annoying engine revving sound. However, but is he going to try and make a move to the inside? I had a little think about it, but thought better of it. I believe Corey will hold on to the place, but is Iron Shin going to go for a little bit of a switchback maneuver? You bet he is, and is now on the outside. Slight bit of contact, and I believe that's wing damage for Iron Shin. You wish you were tier 3 only for today. What is that? So your brother could commentate on you? Oh, how cute! But now on lap 2, there is 2 drivers here with wing damage of Iron Shin and Corey. As I believe, is that more wing damage happening? Who was that for this time? I believe it might have been off of either Potwash or Formula Riot, who's now at the back. But this is where all the action is currently happening, so it would be rude to cut off from this point. As Doug and Potwash side by side, Doug to the inside. Potwash going to try to hold it, a little bit of contact, and Potwash has had a little bit of a half spin, and that will drop him right down into P12. Luckily still on the back of the pack at the moment, so he hasn't lost too much time. See, this early in this race, it's significant that you do not lose that much time. And after all the complaints of Tobarito saying he doesn't like the rain, he has got a 1 second advantage to Angry Badger in P2. So he might not be liking the wet, but he is clearly taking it nicely when he's got this lead and this advantage over the rest of the drivers. Angry Badger holding nicely though in P2, with Mr. Piggy still in P3 holding up Wacky Racer as much as he possibly can. That'll probably be a defensive job to allow Shazam to close up and try and make a move to make it a 3 and 4 for Sauber. You would have loved to race today. Yeah, it's Inters conditions in it. You love the Inters. So Wacky Racer literally pushing him through that hairpin there. Is he going to try and make a move as we're coming out of Sector 2? Going to look to the inside, thinks better of it, but it's going to take the inside anyway. Make a little bit of contact with his front wing towards the rear tyre of Mr. Piggy. Wacky Racer has to hold back for just that extra few corners. So Angry Badger sets the fastest lap of the race. I think Wacky Racer's probably made a little bit of a mistake. Shazam is right on the back. Obviously, with that wing damage, it's going to make it incredibly difficult for him to get moves, especially with the lack of downforce in the rain. I believe that's Rotti who has picked up, is that a 3-second time penalty? Yep, that's a 3-second time penalty for the Ferrari of Rotti. This early on in the race, that is not what he would be after. Good evening, Woody. It's not going too bad for the Saubers at the moment. Obviously, don't want to give it a bit too much of a curse, but seems like good teamwork is going on from Piggy holding up Wacky to allow Shazam to close in. It's a nice little 4-car battle here with Shazam trying to seize up an opportunity to make a move on the Aston Martin. As Wacky Racers tried to go to the inside again, kind of tapped one Sauber and squeezed the other one into the wall. And that has allowed Rotti to take P5, as DRS is actually enabled, so it's actually drying up. Although it's raining, it's drying up quite significantly, as Corey's taken a little bit of a taste to the wall and broken off the rest of his front wing, so that'll be an early pit stop for him, as a virtual safety car has in fact come out. I don't know what's happening here. This might want to be checked after the race, as Kez has picked up a 10-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags, but I have no idea what's gone on there. People overtaking each other under the VSC has just caused an absolute faff. But we should see the VSC end quite soon, as only front wing damage was not for a retired car. So once the debris has been cleared off the track, we will see green flag running once again. Iron Shin's taken up the opportunity to box under this VSC. Corey stayed out with no front wing. It's not even a plank of wood. It's literally just a nose. As Kez has gotten even worse for him, he's got a drive through as well. It's a drive through on top of that 10-second penalty, and he still have to make his first pit stop afterwards. As Wacky Racers picked up a 3-second time penalty, he's trying to get the move on Shazam. I feel like he's got that done, or Shazam trying to get the move on Wacky Racer. 1-2, but either way they stay in their positions. Rotti up to P4, managed to get past, but with that time penalty, even if he gets past Mr. Piggy at this stage, he will end up dropping back if it stays like this come the end of 31 laps in Singapore. Oh, I've just caught onto that at Shazam going for a little bit of a spin and broke off the other side of his wing. So now he's just running with a plank of wood, pretty much. I feel like Doug might have got caught up in that. As I believe there's 2 pit lane cuts, 3 pit lane cuts there, so I don't know if anyone wants to witness that. As now we are heading on to lap 6 with Tobarito still leading. As choosing to go onto the dry tyres now. It's still raining. I've really hated these conditions. These conditions really confuse me because it's DRS is enabled, but people are going onto the dry tyres. Interesting. I'll cut that off for now. We'll just run like this for now. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Time bit too early for the dry tyres. However, we will see how much they're closing in, because obviously with Wacky Racer on the mediums, we'll see how much he closes into his teammate Iron Shin. Because you never know, it might actually be time for the dry tyres, but at the moment he's losing time, so I doubt it. It's all kind of got quite spread out now. Only really Rotti on the back of Piggy is the only really battle now. As we say that, Rotti has a bit of a moment coming into the final few corners, as Kez has got a 3-second time penalty now. 2 dries for inters, too wet for dries. Yeah, I could see that, but Angry Badger thinks it's time for the dry tyres, because he is going on to the dry tyres. I'm going to try and do the undercut on Tobarito, as there's a yellow flag. As Wacky Racer's gone down the runoff, I believe. He's got no wing damage, so it wasn't in the barrier. But all that hard work he originally had to be up at the front is now down in P10. But we need to keep an eye on Angry Badger here. See how much time he gains. Because at the moment, I don't think he's gaining anything as he runs wide. He might be losing more than what he's actually gaining. What tyres are they on? It's a little bit of a split at the moment. A couple of guys have gone for the dry tyres. The DRS has been enabled now, but it's still raining, so I'm unsure on that decision. But we'll see how it plays out for them. But Angry Badger, it does seem like he's closing in on Formula I. That rear end of Rotti's all over the place. I believe those rear tyres are starting to overheat just a little bit too much, because even with a slight kink like that, shouldn't be losing the rear end that much. You reckon lap 10, so in 2 or 3 laps time. As Rotti seems like he's jumping about a little bit, maybe a little bit of lag. But he's still on the back of Mr. Piggy. As Angry Badger picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's all quite spread out now. It's just trying to see whatever happens. But Angry Badger closed up onto the back of Formula I now. Only 1.4 seconds is the gap. However, the V-carb does in fact have wing damage though. So is that time loss due to the wing damage, or is it due to being on the inters? Formula I, I think, is just going to move over and let him through. Yep. And that's Angry Badger up into P5. Keep the gap to leader up for now. See how much distance Angry Badger will close in. It's closing in quite a lot, so I think it is actually time for dry tyres now. Corey and Wacky Racer going at it. Corey holding on to P10 for now. Wacky Racer obviously on the medium tyres. Yeah, Angry Badger seems to be making the right choice as he fully cuts turn 1 there. That will definitely be a track limits warning for the Red Bull. As what has happened here? It's a yellow flag. I believe that's for Rotti and for Mr. Piggy. Rotti does in fact get past. But have they both made contact? Because both have been in the wall. Both have wing damage. It's been a little bit of a scrappy opening 9 laps for a few of these drivers. Right, Angry Badger is now, where it started off as 25 seconds, now only 21, so I believe the time to pit is actually now. Unless if Tobarito's taking those inters. to the point of where he could put the hards and run the hards to the end of the race. Obviously, that will also be an option. Rotti is into the pits, changing that front wing, and putting on another set of inters. So a bit of a interesting strategy, I'd say, as Einstein's gone on to the hards. Probably run the hards to the end of the race, or as long as he can. Formula Rise also chose the hard compounder tyres. But Rotti going onto the inters seems like an interesting choice. Obviously, you can see Angry Badger closing in a lot to the inter runners. So, and I believe it hasn't even stopped raining yet, but it's clearly enough for dry tyres. We've got Mr. Piggy, Mr. Potwash, and Angry Badger all in a little battle here. Potwash trying to go for a move up the inside, but thinks better of it. What about on the run down here with DRS open? Going to make a move to the inside, thinks better of it, and is going to wait until the run down into turn 1. But they're going to have to start looking into the wing mirrors now, because the Red Bull of Angry Badger has closed up right onto the rear of that Alpine. So he's managed to fire up those medium tyres within the 3 laps that he's put them on. As Potwash looking to the inside, cuts the inside corner as Angry Badger kind of has to take a little bit of avoided action, slam on the brake to stop him from slamming in the back of the Alpine. As Angry Badger goes very wide, picks up another 3-second time penalty. And there's only 6 cars without a penalty, so half the grid that have penalties, half the grid that doesn't. Alright, I'm going to leave you on board with Badger quickly. Have a grab my phone charger. Give me 1 second. Right, there we go, sorted. Still have the Twitch chat. My phone's not going to die. As see Tobarito actually into the pits now on end of lap 11, starting lap 12. Potwash has also come in, I believe. Yeah, Potwash into the pits. Mr. Piggy and Angry Badger have both gotten past. As Tobarito's gone on to another set of inters. Dex running P3 and PSG. It's not PS3L. It's esports race thing. But Deck running P3, lovely stuff. We go whack on the interval now. We'll look for gaps to look at, and I believe the only one to really keep an eye on is this battle for the lead. Mr. Piggy's still going long with those inters, holding up Angry Badger quite significantly. And all this is going to help Tobarito close up his started off about 2 seconds, now under 1 second. Should have a DRS I don't think he'll have it for this straight, but definitely for the main straight he will. One night is PSGL. I think it's either Tuesday or Thursday. I think it might be Thursday. Just do I know? I can't remember for the life of me, but I think it's Thursday. See, the best person for you to ask about PSGL would be Deck himself. I don't have a Scooby-Doo. Tobarito trying to make the move now. Round the outside of Angry Badger. I think there might have been a slight bit of contact or a little bit of attraction loss for the Red Bull. But that will allow Tobarito to get up into P2. Safety car just came out. Ooh. Tobarito's still trying to get past Mr. Piggy. Mr. Piggy obviously 12 lap old Inters at the moment. Tobarito's got 11 lap younger tyres. Williams has thought about moving to the inside at the hairpin, but thinks better of it's going to wait for a double dose of DRS. Tell him to hit the safety car. Well, ideally, Titan, I would not like it for him to hit the safety car, as Tobarito's almost had a spin. Luckily, it has avoided damage there. These conditions are playing tricks with everyone. It's either inters or it's dries or it's, I don't know. But Angry Badger's got wing damage. Piggy's got a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. So a bit of a hectic evening. As Potwash sets the fastest lap of the race, 42.5 I believe that was. As someone's gone off, I believe that's Corey. Corey's gone down the runoff area. I don't really know where to look. I can keep an eye on Angry Badger, as Angry Badger's on the back of Shazam. Angry Badger starting in P2. Unfortunately, having to drop down as much as what he has in this race. Obviously, the damage and stuff like that. But he could be still on for a solid result if he keeps his nose clean and makes up a few places. But there is only 5 cars now without any penalties. As Tobarito sets a new fastest lap, 42.4. Pushing on whilst in the lead of this race. I've got a 15.5 second advantage towards Rotti in the Ferrari. See Rotti with his time penalties, I believe only a 3 second. So at the moment he will keep that P2 spot unless Iron Shin is able to close up. But we'll get rid of this stuff here. For the time being, we're back on the position changes. You can see the starting order. Yes, Woody, I fully agree. I fully agree with that statement. Please don't. Angry Badger did in fact get past, but it's gone off track and got another time penalty. I don't even know how many that is now. It's up to 9 seconds. It's almost got the same amount of time pens as what Mr. Piggy has from speeding in the pits. But at least he doesn't have wing damage this time, so that's a bright sign to us. This is race, as almost jinxed it as he taps the outside wall. Lucky Mrs. P is not in the chat. Not really much to write home about at the moment. On lap 16 now for many of these drivers. Some still on lap 15. And that's going to spice it up. Corey in the wall has brought out a full course safety car. So this is going to shake it up a little bit. Will people finally box onto the dry tyres? This is mainly aimed at you, Tobarito. For now, while it's safety car, I'm going to check the Discord. You would like the tyres? Let me grab the tyres up for you. We can see what people box onto. There you are, lad. As we do see Tobarito coming into the pit lane, finally. But is he going to go onto the hard tyres? I would assume he should. Hey, he has finally had a change of heart. He's actually taken off the inters. As what has happened to Rotti? Rotti just went extremely slow entering that pit lane. And Rotti is going onto the hard tyres as well. And I believe Corey's gone onto another set of inters. See Tobarito leading this race. Such a great advantage out in the front, and our safety car has just ruined that. But that is just how the cookie crumbles. Angry Badger back up into P2. Iron Shin up into P3. Championship contenders of Tobarito and Iron Shin 1 and 2 at the moment here in Tier 3. And it looks like it will be like that at the end of the race unless Iron Shin can do anything about it. But I still don't understand. I still don't understand these conditions. Why is it still raining and why are the dry tyres working? I don't like this. It's confusing. It's Corey trying to get lapped by a safety car. Who knows at this rate? It might. At this point, he might as well be behind a safety car. Badger's finally closed in on that 25-second gap and is now on the back of the safety car queue, which contains of just 2 drivers at the moment, seeing as the field is this spread. So now we wait. While it's a safety car, I'm going to take this opportunity to go get myself a drink. Back in 1 second. Right, I'm back. What have I missed? Then just have a word with your bro, give him some tips or some lessons. Or unfortunately, Woody, if he would listen to me, then maybe he would stop getting into instants. I mean, he took my advice from Qatar and he didn't get into a crash that time. So I'd say it's working. Oh, come on. When is this safety car going to come in? And it's in this lap. So unfortunately, Corey, you're not going to catch up in time. Longest safety car ever. Well, you're in luck, Adam. Safety car is now ending, so you don't have to worry no more. And when is Toborito going to go as he rounds the final corner? And he goes now. And he's already got a second advantage over Angry Badger. Just from the safety car restart alone. So, brilliant. Angry Badger and Iron Shin, though, side by side in turn 1, turn 2, and now turn 3. Is Iron Shin going to come out on top in this little squabble? Yes, he does. Aston Martin up into P2. P2 in the championship on those medium tyres is going to be looking to close in on the Williams driver. And this is so great to see. Everyone's back in one train. Actually get some battles as I go on to that at the right time as Mr. Potwash makes some contact with the Ferrari of Rotti. He doesn't need to take any unnecessary risks, seeing as the two cars in front do actually have time penalties. As we see Corey Wills into the pits and retiring, see, unable to catch up to the safety car. See, Doug is one of the others, still stuck at the back as Mr. Piggy has retired, and there's another safety car. Just as we get underway, there's another one. See, just if Corey stayed in the race, he would have been able to catch up to the safety car this time. I'm going to take this chance to have my drink. Lovely. Well, I'm sorry, Adam, but seeing as you saw the world's longest safety car, you got to experience even more safety cars. So, still got another 10 laps of this. We could have another 2 yet. You can see the tyres, yes. See, not really much has changed. Angry Badger, Wacky Racer, and Kez onto the mediums this time, but other than that, everyone's still to say the same. I do love a good bit of safety car action. Makes the night go so much quicker. Come on, Kez, you can do it. You can get onto the back of the safety car pack. Oh, what the hell's... What the hell? Why? What? What the hell just happened? What? It's just randomly switched. I I'm so confused. Oh, are we back? I'm so lost. Oh well, we are getting ready for the restart. Jesus Christ, that really confused me. But Tobarito leaves us away onto lap 24 with another safety car restart. As Tobarito picks up a 3-second time penalty. Not ideal, lad. Oh, right. Let's get back to this, shall we now? I've managed to clear my head of what the hell has just happened there. But, oh well, we move. Potwash and Rossi trying to have a little bit of a squabble. Rossi holds on to P3, Potwash still in P4. But without a time penalty. Only 2 cars without at this stage. As Rossi hits the wall once again, that slows everyone up, and now it's a 2-second gap between everyone. As what on earth is happening here, people? Come on, labs, keep it clean. As it's still raining, but we're racing on dry tyres. So we keep going. Angry Badger with another lot of front wing damage. I think that's like the 4th or 5th time this race. As Angry Badger has been squeezed into the wall by Wacky Racer. Not ideal, but DRS is now being activated. Iron Shin trying to keep up with Tobarito, but whether or not that happens is another story. The mediums will be dying off and the hards will be quicker, so all that Tobarito needs is a 3-second advantage. Titan, what's chaos? Titan, you are the chaos. How about Potwash now? Potwash going to try and make a move? No, he's not. Sticking behind for another lap. Formula Rye still in front of Shazam. Wacky Racer following just closely behind, but could possibly have a pen after this race for absolutely murdering Angry Badger. Titan's a bomb scare. Yeah, I've known in my life he's always a bomb scare. There's no changing that. Wacky Racer off track once again, almost clattering into the wall. But we'll go back to Potwash. Is Potwash close enough to make any sort of move on Rotty? He can probably just sit behind for the rest of this race if he really wanted to, but I want action, I want chaos. Give me chaos. This Formula Rye goes off track almost, and that's going to allow a switch back for Shazam. Shazam is ahead of Formula Rye now, very close. That's up to P5 for the Sauber. Formula Rye back up the inside. Not able to get it done. Wacky Racer trying to get the move on the V-Carb as well. but takes a bit of an unorthodox line through turn 1 and is unable to do anything about it. As Angry Badger and Doug both into the pits, both repairing their wings, both onto the soft tyres. Monkey see, monkey do for the Red Bulls. Where can we look? Look at Wacky Racer. Wacky Racer's always an entertaining one to watch, I would say. But it's either clean or it's chaos. So see what you could do in Aston Martin, as it's a very tight line. That's not going to help him get any sort of distance on Formula Y. Pen situation. There you go, Deck. Enjoy. Feast your eyes on that beautiful sensation there. Penalties absolutely everywhere. Wacky Racer and Formula Y going at it once again. Wacky Racer takes away P6 from the V-Carb. Porsche is probably just going to stick behind now at this rate. Doesn't need to push, doesn't need to do anything unnecessary. Stick behind the Ferrari, get that podium after the time pens have been applied. And Bosch, sorted. Not really much to look at, really. Might as well just keep it on board with Porsche here. Give Deck and Mr. P a little bit of Alpine action for the stream, so we'll keep it with him. Kez picks up another 3-second time penalty, but we'll take that off for now. We'll just leave it on that. Potwash thought about a move to the inside of the Ferrari, but thinks better of it. As Tobarita's almost pulled out that 3-second advantage over Iron Shin. I might as well just keep it on this. So we'll just let this race play out. See if Potwash could either make a move on Rotti, or if he's just going to stick behind for the remaining 3 laps. Or 3 or 4 laps. I don't know anymore. So everything's still staying the same, really. Tobarito leading, Einstein P2, Rotti P3 with Potwash just behind. As Rotti clatters that inside wall, rips off his part of his front wing, and are we gonna get an overtake? Potwash steady inside. And Rotti holds on. So we've got 2 laps left here for Tier 3 in Singapore. Lap 30 out of lap 31. Potwash to the inside. And I believe that is move sorted for the Alpine. Unless if Rotti's going to use this DRS to his advantage. Rotti with a DRS open, is he going to close fast enough? And go to the inside. Or managed to get the car slowed down, surprisingly with that wing damage. But Potwash managed to hold on to that P3 on track, which would have been P3 either way. Now we've just got to close out this race and hold on. Keep it clean, keep it smooth, keep it composed. As Formula Rye has crashed with 2 laps to go. There he is there. See you later, V-Carb. You are in the wall and you are out of this race. Still going to be in the top 10 regardless, so ayo. Well, on the final lap now, we will just go on board with Tobarito for this final lap, as we will conclude this race. Can't park there, mate. Yep. I don't think it was intended to park there, but he did it anyway. See Tobarito with a nearly 4.5 second lead. Even with that time penalty, I believe I'll put up quickly now is only 3 seconds. So Tobarito could be on course for another race win here in Tier 3. Extending the championship lead that he has currently. Into the final sector for Tobarito in the Williams, obviously Williams TP. As he's going to come round the final 2 corners and he will take the checker flag and he will win here in Singapore. Iron Shin will take home P2. Potwash taking a very solid P3. With Rotti and Shazam rounding off the top 5. And we got a little bit of a distance to see Wacky Racer finishing in P6. Had a solid race at the start, but kind of just went downhill after that. And then we go to Kez. multiple wing damage things for Kez, a drive-through penalty, and a 10-second time penalty that he served all in the pit lane. Comes in P7. Angry Badger ends up in P8 after starting on the front row. And then we wait for Doug. Doug gonna cross the line and finish P9. Go race winner and fastest lap for Toberito. Driver of the day and the most overtakes going to the Aston Martin pair of Iron Shin and Wacky Racer, with the cleanest driver being Mr. Potwash. And that is your finishing order there. There you go. And just in case anyone needed it, this is the race director. Perfect. All sorted. And that is Tier 3 done. Returning on Monday for Tier 1. I don't know what the track is in Tier 1 next week, but you will find out on Monday. So, for now, we will catch you guys next time.